Hello, Joshua. How are we? I'm trying to get out of the sunspots. How are we? How are we? Are you well? Yeah, look at my hair. There we go, that's better. It is a Saturday morning here in Australia, 9:30 to be exact. You can probably hear all the birdies chirping. So you got caught, did you, Ace? It does happen. I've had that happen to me when I've gone into other people's lives. Hey there, Glenn. How are you? Thank you for coming in. Are you having a good day, Glenn? Joshua is saying, you are much older than me, Kirsty. I'm 25. Oh, wow, you're only a young person. You're a youngie, Joshua. Glenn, you're doing wonderful. I'm so pleased. Frenchie Frostbite, welcome in. Thank you. Yes, I do appreciate the thumbs up. Oh, Kirsty, yes, you're a youngie too. 38. I liked being 38. I didn't like. Oh, Lorna, hello, welcome in, animal lover. How are you, my dear? Yeah, Ace, there's been a few times I've gone into people's lives, and it was a friend of mine when she started in YouTube, and when I say started, she'd been doing it for about 4 or 5 months, but she'd only done a few lives, and like me, it took her some time to get moderators set up. And I went into her live, and I was the only person she'd set up as a moderator, and she had like about 20 people in the chat, and she said, oh, thank God you're here, can you put up everyone's links? It's like she's got a lot more moderators now. It does make life easier, but thank you so much, Ace. I do appreciate it. So we've got a few new people here, I think. Let's have a look. Okies Eden. Hello, Jason. How are you? Oh, Ariana's going live as well soon. Clicked on the notification for my channel. Well, thank you. It's supposed to be on my Saturdays, and it's Saturday here. I'm supposed to do a in the kitchen type live. We're winging it a bit today. Tuesdays here in Australia, at least, are the days where I do my farm walk around, and then Thursday is the day that I do my in the garden walk around. And like on Tuesday earlier this week, it was raining, and it was so difficult to do a live walking around the farm and look at things because it was wet. And then Thursday, I had so much going on Thursday. You have no idea. Wednesday and Thursday. Because those of you who are in my live on Tuesday, you'll probably remember I was due to get the solar put up on Tuesday. Well, they just never showed up. And I'd been trying to ring them for weeks, and I finally got onto them that morning. They've told me that they can't come out now till June or after May. But I said, well, how much longer after May are we talking? And I said, are we talking June, July? And they said, yeah, maybe September, October. And I'm thinking, my God, that's like a year. Like from the time I've put my initial deposit on the solar system, that's a year. So I ended up spending a lot of time on Wednesday ringing around other solar companies and trying to get new quotes just on the off chance, because I don't know if or when this company are actually going to put my solar system up. It's already been a long wait. Like initially it was meant to happen on February the 16th, and then they said it would be March 17th. And right up until the day of March 17th, I was assuming it was still happening on that day. And now they're saying June, July, October, November. So yeah, Wednesday for me, I ended up getting in touch with about 8 different companies, and I sent my original quote to them and said, look, can you do me a quote, something similar to this? You know, whatever your best price is, of course, but this is the type of system I want, because I had tweaked the system to be what I wanted. So I just sort of forwarded it on, and so I was doing that. And there were other things going on as well that just meant that it was just an incredibly busy couple of days. And I thought, I can't do a Thursday live. I just can't do it. Too much happening. So I missed my Thursday one altogether. So we've got a little bit to catch up on. I heard your voice, by the way, Ace, says Joshua. Looks like a lovely day here. It is a lovely day, Frenchie. It is a lovely day. Joshua was born in California. Easy Street with Jen. Hello, Jen. Welcome in. Lovely to see you. Happy Friday/Saturday, Susan and chat, says Jen. Too hot in California, was it, Frenchie? Yeah, I've heard it's very hot there. I don't do heat well. That's why I live in the Alpine region. I'm in the Alpine region of Australia. And I mean, we still get hot weather, but not a lot of hot weather. It's certainly not like California, which is good. But yes, I sort of thought, because the kitchen's a bit of a mess, you know, and it happens. And I thought to myself, well, do I actually do my round the kitchen table? I thought I could sit out here because it's a lovely morning, as Frenchie pointed out. Pardon me. And I thought, well, maybe we can go for a little bit of a wander around the property and around the garden, and then we might adjourn inside after that for a cuppa. Joshua says he's been to a few states. Ace is busily putting up links. Thank you, Ace. You're such a good girl. Thank you. So, yeah, what do you think? What do you think? I was thinking about doing some baking, but then I realized that I'm out of the thing I want to bake. I'm missing an ingredient, and I thought, maybe we should just sit outside and enjoy the day for a few hours at least. So one thing I'm interested to know, people, how are the what's the fuel situation like for you over there, where you are? Over here, we've struck a bit of a problem. It's not a statewide ban. It's not a ban at all, in fact, but the local petrol stations where you get your fuel from have put a ban on using fuel cans. So you can go in and fill up your car or your truck, but you can't go in and then fill a fuel can. Oh, hello, Leah. Welcome in. Fabrics. Hello, Wayne. Welcome in, my dear. Yeah, up here they've put a ban on filling up fuel cans. And that means that, and I've got a couple of fuel cans, but it means that when my ride-on mower runs out of fuel, or the chainsaw, or the hedge trimmer, or my hydraulic wood splitter, all these things, like there's so many people who live in a rural setup like I do locally, who now can't buy fuel for their fuel cans to power those appliances. Many people use fuel to work their water pumps. So it's going to be a big problem if these petrol stations, these fuel stations, don't allow people to fill up fuel cans. I mean, I guess you can always siphon fuel out of your car if you get desperate. But I mean, it shouldn't come to that though, should it? We shouldn't have to be siphoning fuel out of our cars. Was that peanut butter cookies in the thumbnail? No, Ace. They are little cakes called Madeleines, which I have made from time to time. Admittedly, I have not made them for a little while. And I do want to make some again, but I don't know if it'll be today. Because you know something? I thought I had some butter in the freezer, and I don't. So if I want to make any cakes or any biscuits, I've actually got to make the butter first. And I thought, oh, am I in the mood to make butter this morning? I'm not sure if I am, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I could. I just don't know if I'm in the mood. Not right now. Not today. It is still mild weather here, Joshua, says Kirsty. Is it humid where I'm located? Not at the moment, Frenchie. It probably will. I mean, like I said, it's still quite early here. It's probably like 9:45 in the morning, and I'm in the Alpine region, so it's still quite cool. As the day goes on, it probably will get a little bit humid. Joshua says, I could imagine if I was next to you, Ace, and I could show you what the Disney Starlight Parade looks like. Wow. That sounds awesome, Joshua. So shall we go for a little bit of a wander? I know it's not our normal wandering day, but we didn't really get to do much wandering on Tuesday. So what do you reckon, folks? Shall we go for a little bit of a wander out and about? And I can show you a little bit of what I did in the garden yesterday. It wasn't very exciting, but I can show you just the same. And we can have a look at some cows and chickens and a few things like that. And then once we're done, we could sit down and have a cuppa and just have a chat and catch up. Ace, how are you, Ace? Tell me about your week. Have you done anything exciting? You're always so busy looking after getting everyone's links up and doing all that sort of thing, which I do appreciate, but I want to know how you're getting on. I saw your latest short, which was a little bit concerning. I hope everything has sorted itself out. Yeah, Kirsty, shall we do that? Yeah, I'm not in a butter making mood, Kirsty. But clearly I'm going to have to at some point. I just don't know if it's right now. So let's do this. I've got all my winter woolies on. Hey, Brun, welcome in. Oh, nice. So you're going to the local market, Brun? Sorry, you all get to look at my middle for a few minutes. I'll put my glasses. Where do I want my glasses? No, I don't want my glasses there. Sorry, got to put the battery pack in my pocket. So do that. Jumper over the top. And then, I'm sorry. I'm getting organised. Let's go for a little bit of a walk. Which way should we go? I know, we'll go down here. Oh, and look, I've got to... Oh, no, actually, I won't show you from this direction. It'll probably be too glary for you. Woo! So yesterday I did some pruning. Hang on, I'll turn you around so you can see the... All right, over here. It's not particularly exciting. I had this dios, and it was like... See, it's quite big. It was like twice that height, and we just put the hedge trimmer just straight through the middle of it to sort of make it a bit shorter and less top heavy. You can see one side here is clearly having some issues. I actually thought it had snapped at the bottom, but it hasn't. But there's still a bit of greenery in here, so hopefully it'll perk up again. And I pruned a lavender. And then over here more, I pruned this Japanese quince. Pruned this thing as well. And look, I can see the statue now. See, I've got a little statue in there. Hey, Joy. Welcome in. I was just saying, Joy, how are you, Joy? You well? Texas Regina. Hello, my love. How are you today? I was just telling everyone it's meant to be our kitchen day, my indoor day, but I've had a few days where it's been very sort of rainy and drizzly and so forth. And my Tuesday live, which is my farm walk around live, I didn't get to walk around as much as I'd like. So I thought, well, look, while I'm in the mood, I'll do a bit of a farm walk around. Oh, I'm sorry, it's very glary, isn't it? Look how much the grass is growing. You know, a few days ago, that was short, like 3 or 4 days ago. Absolutely incredible. It is sunny and hot where you are, Texas Regina. Now, looking at the grass, you don't want to look at the grass. There's my lovely weeping cherry. Here's the fountain, which is sort of going. Hang on, we've got a big message. Susan, I really don't do anything but YouTube and listen to music and daydream about WV Mountains. The video of the eggs is my next door neighbour right next to me egged Valentine's. Yeah, I know, and I thought that was such a horrible thing for them to do to you, Ace. I was so upset. I was so upset that they would do that to you. There's my blue spruce that I planted last week in memory of my brother who passed away last year. But yeah. So the garden's looking a bit scruff, but that's all good. Oh, here's the cows. Some of them at least. Texas Regina and Frenchie. I don't know if you've met my cows before. Is that you, Thunderhoof? No, it's not Thunderhoof. Hello, darling. This is Oreo. Hello, Oreo. Hello, hello. Oh, yes. Look at that tongue. Look at that tongue. How are you, my darling? Hey? Look at your nose. You're covered with grass. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. We've got a few cows wandering up. Wonderful cows, says Regina. Oi! You see, I had to turn the fence off because there's a short in the fence and I haven't fixed it yet. And they know the thing's off. Look at them, they're all running up. Hello, Fiona. Hello, Fiona. Oh, you want to eat my phone as well? The teenager next door did it. Babe, oh, okay. Okay. No, you're not eating my phone. Oh, they think I've got a bag of bread for them. Well, I do, but I'm not doing it today. I'm not doing it right at the moment. I know, what a waste of eggs. Hey. Let's see if we can go for a bit of a walk. It might be difficult because they're all going to follow me. And you know what Thunderhoof's like. When I go out into the paddock, I'm usually pretty good until Thunderhoof catches sight of me, because Thunderhoof likes to eat my clothes. Thunderhoof likes to eat my clothes. And I am wearing a rather nice jumper at the moment. Well, when I put it on, I wasn't actually planning on going for a walk around. But here we are. But we should start with the chickens. Actually, we will. I'll start with the chickens because if I start with the chickens, the cows might decide that they're a bit bored and wander off. And then once they've wandered off, we might be able to sneak up into the top of the paddock. Look at all the seeds on this maple. Have you ever tried planting these, Kirsty? I think I might give it a go. See if I can plant some maple seeds and get them to germinate. Didn't do it to you, hun. Okay. Okay. Well, that's something, I suppose. Oh. All right. We're in the chicken coop. Hello, girls. God, look at all the feathers. You can tell they're molting. All right, let me find, where's my jar for today? It's the one that says Saturday. So I'll tighten the lid. I've got the lid loose because these are my fermented grains. And if you tighten the lid and it gets a bit too gassy, your bottle can explode, and we don't want that. So mix it up a bit. Loosen the lid. And you can see it's doubled in height. So when I filled this jar, I only fill them to here, to there. And then over the course of about 4 days, it doubles in volume. So it means that your chickens are getting more food and it's costing you less money. And it's good food because it's got you know, lots of little good things in it because it's been fermented. So let me get into here. Sorry, I know you're all looking at a wall at the moment. Come on out the way. I can't feed you if you won't let me in. Hello, my darlings. Yes. All right, let's... Ah. All right. I accidentally poured some of that onto one of the chickens. All right. Let's go in and watch a few chickens eat for a bit. What's wrong, Quill? You're not hungry today? My goodness me, look at your backside. So, kid, You've lost all your tail feathers. They are molting because it's our autumn. So they're all losing their feathers so they can get their winter plumage. But he looks dreadful. He had a full tail yesterday. What do I give the chickens? It is a mixture, Kirsty. I give them cracked corn, sunflower seeds. There's oats, barley, sorghum. Yes, hello. Hello, Pavel. Oh, no, you're not Pavel. Pavel's over there. I do have pellets, but they don't get the pellets very often. It's like a Friday and a Sunday treat. So they don't get pellets every day. Once we've finished watching the chickens fry, I'm trying to find the best angle where the sun's not going to bother you. Stop it. I'll actually show you the mix, Kirsty. Yes, Ace is ace-tastic. I agree. See, they've already, when I put it out, they go through and they pick out all the sunflower seeds first, because they love the sunflower seeds. And then they go through and they pick out all the sorghum. Once they've eaten the sorghum, then they start going for the wheat and the oats. They have a specific order they seem to like to eat in. At the moment, they're going through a phase where they're not particularly fond of the corn. I used to give them whole corn pieces, and they loved it for years and years and years. They loved it. And then they suddenly decided they weren't going to eat whole corn anymore. So I get them, there's cracked corn or maize in this mix now, and they seem to like that a lot more. You see, I've got rocks around the edge here, so Foxy Loxy doesn't get in. Oh, poor Quill. You look terrible without a tail. He doesn't look very happy about it either, I must say. Poor chap. So, oh, thank you, Ace. Much appreciated. My latest article, which hit the newspaper, no, Pavel, was one on a house cat. But it hasn't got to buy me a coffee yet. But let me, because Kirsty did ask. So you see, I've got a jar made up here for Sunday. And then there's a Monday one and a Tuesday one. So I usually go 4 days ahead. So now I've used the Saturday jar, which was the one we just did. I will make up a jar for Wednesday. So this is a big metal box. It's actually a you know, like if you have a utility, it's like a box that you would have on a utility to keep tools and things in. So that is the grain. Sorry, not the grain, the pellets, which they don't get very often. And in it, I have mixed eggshell. You can see the white flecks there. That is the eggshell from their eggs, which I feed back to them for calcium. Over here is my mixed grains. Now, I don't know how well, can you see all that, Kirsty? So you can see the black there is sunflowers. There's a pea there, dried pea. The yellow is the cracked corn. The little orange, reddy orange seeds there are the sorghum. And then there's wheat and there's oats and all that sort of thing. So that's what's in that. And then over here, I have an extra bin of wheat. So what I'll do now is I've got a container and I'll fill this probably about that much. So it's probably filled to about here with wheat. And then I'll put it in this bin. Fill this and then I'll top it up. Right, and then what day did we want? We wanted Wednesday. So where's the one for Wednesday? That's that one. So I'll pop this here and fill it up. Anything that goes over the edge just goes back into the collection. And you see it's filled up to that line now. Can you see that? So that's 700 grams. So now we take it out here. To the water barrel. Oops, bit too much water there. I'll have to tip some out. But I'll tip it out later. Now I put way too much water in that. So you can see, Kirsty, I filled it to here with the seeds and stuff. Now I would normally fill it to about there, so almost double. So 50-50 seeds to water. I have majorly overfilled that, but I've got a lot of seeds floating on the top, so I'll probably wait for them to settle, and later in the day I'll come out and tip some of that out. I'll probably take about a little over an inch of that water out because I wasn't concentrating and I put too much water in it. So now what we need is a dry lid. So put the lid on. Now I'm making it tight because I'm actually going to give it, just tip it upside down a few times, mix all the grains up, give it a swirl around. Then I loosen the lid again. And it just sits gently on the top. Ooh, and if I can lift it with one hand, because it's, gosh, can I lift it with one hand? We can do this. We've got this. We've got this. Hope we've got this. Have we? Hang on, let me put that there. Goodness only knows what you're looking at. Right. I just dropped you all into a feed bin for a moment, but there's the one we've just made up that has too much water in it. There we go. Drop the lid. Let's see how they're getting on. Oh yeah, they're making their way through it. Oh, hello. Oh yes, I do that too. Kirsty. I sprout broccoli seeds. And it makes oh yeah, no, the broccoli seeds are actually for me too, I might add. I'm going to do a live. Actually, that's what I should have done today. I didn't think about it. I'm going to do a live on it in the next week or two. So the rush has ended because clearly they've got all the they've got the sorghum and the peas and the sunflowers out of it, and now they're thinking that they're going to wander off and do other things. So lock that up. And let's see what the cows are up to and if they're going to let me into the paddock. Oh, that's pretty. Can you hear all the birds squawking? There's a big flock of, where are they? You probably can't see them. Cockatoos flying over. Oh. Can you hear them all and see them? Oh, I wish you could see them all. There's so many. You probably didn't see a thing, did you? All right. Can you hear them? Or is it too faint? Squawk, you can hear them. Oh, that's good. So, the cows are sort of not exactly where I wanted them to be. Get your head out of my fence. Penguin. Oh. All right, let's go for a little bit of a walk. And have a look at a little bit of a view. It's not much of a view there. Yeah, I've got a little bit of land. It's certainly enough to keep me busy. Let me tell you. All right. So let's go for a bit of a walk. If we go further up the hill, you'll be able to see the view better, Frenchie. This over here is, there's a milk stanchion in there where I used to milk the Jersey cow. So you can see the milk stanchion over there. And then I've got it sort of cordoned off at the moment. So of an evening, the sheep wander in the gate and they come through and they're sitting in here undercover. Hey, Farmland Fords, welcome in. Penguin in defence, I know. I know. It was actually Pickle's fault, Ace. The young calf Pickles last year worked out how to stick her head through the electric strands, because not every single strand is electrified. And she discovered how to wriggle her head through without getting zapped. And then she taught Penguin, and then Penguin taught Tamara, and Tamara taught Fiona. All right, Frenchie, I want you to see this view. Move over here a little bit more. Look at that. Isn't it sensational? So let's keep walking up here. Thank you, Texas Regina. Yeah, it is. It's lovely. It's really lovely. I tell you though, I am regretting my decision to wear a jumper. The cockatoos are definitely upset about something. Not quite sure what. You have 5 acres. That's awesome though, Frenchie. Oh, wombat hole. Never have too many wombat holes, apparently. Here's another wombat hole. Oh, this one's collapsing. That's good. And the higher up the paddock you go, the more mountains you can see, basically. It is nice being able to walk up here and not be hassled by cows. Doesn't mean I'll be able to walk back down the paddock and not get hassled by cows. I've got to finish these cypresses too. I was pruning them all. They're very big. So this big overhead canopy. What do you do with your 5 acres, Frenchie? I've been pruning all these lower limbs off the cypresses so that the cows and the deer and the sheep, when they're up here, feel less inclined to push on the fence. See, they like to push on the fence. See how they've taken all the foliage off? So cows and deer will basically eat anything that's there. So I've been doing this. I did these ones a couple of months ago, but then I injured my elbow. So I actually stopped and I just haven't got back into it. So I've done 1, 2, 3. This is 4, 5, 6. I've done 7. There's about another 7 to go. I did those ones last year. Because I'm only using a pruning saw, a little pruning saw, and as in a hand saw, and some loppers. This is the grass that was meant to be our second hay paddock that never got cut. Oh, what the hell. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open this gate, pin it up like that. Miss M! Oh my God, Miss M, I've missed you. How are you, my love? Frenchie Frostbite says, I enjoy the nature as it is and walk around it. Made a little path for my quad to ride around on. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, look. All the blackberries I sprayed are starting to die back. Let's have a walk over here. Make sure that the cows can't get into the hay shed. That's the top, what I call the top hay shed. I suppose I should have walked that whole fence line before I let the cows in, just to make sure there's no fences down. I'm pretty certain there's no fences down. It's been a week or two since I've walked it, but it doesn't take long. Aries! How are you, Kevin? Welcome in. Miss M says, I'm doing good. I was on holiday all week with my family and got home Friday afternoon. Em, that's wonderful. I hope you had a wonderful time with your family. Let's see. Nice and green. Yeah, it is. Finally. Finally. I mean, it was very dry. So I've got some pallets here. They're always good for stacking hay up on. So the bottom of the hay bales don't get wet. So that's 187 hay bales. I wanted 400 hay bales. And it goes back a fair way. Don't know, it's yeah, you can see it goes back a fair way. But usually we stack it right up to the roof, and I can't stack it right up to the roof at the moment. You had a great time, Miss M? That's fantastic. Where did you go, Miss M? I think, Joshua, what you might need to do, if you want to know what Ace's voice sounds like, you might be best to try and get onto her channel, and then you can hear her voice. She's got a few shorts and things up. Let's see how the water tank's going. Oh, that sounds hollow. All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so it's, let me show that tank. So you can see it's 6 rungs down. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's up to there at the moment. So it's about 3/4 full. That's not too bad. That's a 20,000 litre tank, and it's 3/4 full currently. Let me bring you back over here, Frenchie. And you can see the view, you can see the mountains in the distance. Hear the birds. I wonder if I should have a little bit of a walk up this fence line. reckon it'll be all right. The cows will be very excited to get in here. Maybe I should call them up. Should I call them up? Bonjour Dot. Bonjour Coco. Elle est la fille. Hear them answering me? There was a moo. There's another moo. Oops. They're all mooing. I better put... put that down in front of the gate so they can't open it. Bonjour Dot. Bonjour Coco. Allez la file. They're running. They're running. Come on down this way, girls and boys. There's a few boys there. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Allez la file. Oh yes, don't forget the thumbs up please folks. Yes, that would be lovely if you could do that. I would really appreciate it. It all helps. I reckon what month are we in now? March. Good grief, listen to the noise. Come on. So there's my pile of prunings I had there. They've gone and eaten all the leaves. Come on, Dot. Here she comes. Dot is my Jersey cow, the one that I used to milk. So if I want all the cows, I basically call her because she comes to me when she's called and then everyone just follows her. So they're all coming up. They're going to be incredibly excited. All right. All right. Look. Woohoo! Go Blaze! Woohoo! There's little Domino, there's Panda, you suck of a thing. Oh, who's missing? Ernie. Ernie! Come on, Ernie. Come on. Ernie, come here. He's very confused. Come on. Come on. That's the way. Come on. Come on, Ernie, you can do it. I know. Come on. Come on, Ernie. 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 Don't look at me like that. The gate's open. That's it. Now he's coming. Domino, perfect name. It is, isn't it? Yes. Hey, cheeky monkey, welcome in. Come on, Ernie. You got this. You got this. Oh, there he goes. Happy boy. Oh my God, they're running. That's all I want. Imagine how many wombat holes are out there that are brand new and they don't know where they are. That's always a worry. When the grass is long, it's so easy to fall into a wombat hole. And I mean, for a person or even a cow or a deer or something like that, you know, it's you can break a leg easily, break a hip. Hey Phoenix. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have let them in this early. There's a bit of dew on the grass. Oh, they'll be right. So, was that fun? You've got to go, Miss Em? Help my mum pick up the dog at the groomers. Yes, that's important. You must do that. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it, Miss Em, and I've missed you, so please come back. Let's go for a little bit of a wander. Oh, let's hope we don't fall into a wombat hole. Be very careful where I'm putting my feet. Now, on all my farm walkarounds, I haven't walked up here before. I only started doing the farm walkarounds in October, and by then I was trying to grow this area all for hay. And that means you don't walk in it. And then it was summer and I was worried about snakes. But I think the deer have been in here, so they've picked a few spots. Yeah, look at this wombat hole here, folks. You can see how deep it is. It's like well over a metre in depth. And it's very easy for an animal or a person to fall into that. But the cows seem happy. I would be happier if I had the electric fence on. But next week, for me, we're going to be hopefully getting all the fences sorted again. And of course, as soon as the fence is shorted out and you switch it off, they know that it's shorted out. They can hear things that we can't pick up with our own ears. Whoops. So I'm just catching up with the chat. Gee, says Cheeky Monkey, what, the wombat hole? A wombat's dangerous? No. Their holes can be dangerous if you fall in them, but they're not dangerous of themselves. Kirsty's saying we have light shows but no parades that I know of. What's that for, Kirsty? St. Paddy's Day? Or St. George's Day? Hello, Blaze. That's Blaze. Hello, darling. Yes. I'm trying to get in front of them because I don't want them to think that I'm pushing them up their paddock. See what the view's like. Oh, there's not much of a view from here at all, really. But look at that. Yeah. Well, it's autumn here now. And I do like autumn and winter, I think, are probably my favourite times. I do like spring. Good grief. Here's a new one. Can you see all the soil? That's been dug by a wombat. Look at the pile. And can you see this huge, huge tunnel going under the fence? I mean, I could quite easily get under that if I chose to. I'm not going to because there's blackberries on the other side, but yeah, it's a big pile of soil that's been dug out. I love Scotland. Northeast England for Kirsty. My family I've got family in Cornwall, and I've also got family in Leeds. I've got a lot of family in Leeds. And I've got family in Edinburgh. So that's where all my family hail from. Speaking of hail, my family who are in Cornwall are in hail. No pun intended. I'm still watching out for snakes, just in case. Look at this big tree. I'll have to show you the tree from a distance, but the cows, oh yeah. Yeah, they're going to be out of pigs. But you know, this whole paddock, they'll probably have it cleaned up in like 2-3 days. It'll be as short as the paddock I just let them out of. Doesn't take them long. I'm just worried with all these wombat holes. You know, I don't want any of the little calves escaping or anything. I can see my fence line is over there. And I can see there's no trees across it. I mean, all the bush there, I own the bush as well. So even if they were to get through the fence, they'd still be on my property. But getting them back into the paddock once they're out in the bush can be fairly hard work. But for my peace of mind, I thought I'd better do this walk. I'm just sort of starting to see some of the mountains there in the distance. Blackpool. Edinburgh is gorgeous, says Frenchie. I can only dream of seeing it. You might see it one day. Oh, the Blackpool illuminations. God, I haven't... My mum took me to the Blackpool illuminations when I was little, Kirsty, and she bought some Blackpool rock, and it was a candy, and inside the candy it was like a long tube, like a sausage almost, and inside the sausage, if you looked at the end of it, it actually said Blackpool rock. Do they still do that, Kirsty? Make the Blackpool rock? Walking, walking, walking. Looking back down at the view, yes, they do. I remember the big piece of black pool rock my mum bought for me. It was hot pink on the outside, and then in the centre it was white, and then it had black pool rock written inside of it in either pink or blue letters. And you know, that's incredible because, gee, I must have been like 6 or 7. And yet that's what I remember. Like, I can remember it, Kirsty, so clearly. The view, folks, just when we get over here, is going to be absolutely incredible. I know you've all been blown away by that view down there. Wait till you see the one from up here. Absolutely amazing view. Oh, you've seen them make it. Yeah. Yeah, I can believe that. I have been told that too. And I think what Cheeky Monkey says, and Kirsty also, I have seen other versions from other coastal towns. More paddocks, more view, big dead tree. Let's keep walking. Let's keep walking. Just making sure that the fence is where it's meant to be. But it looks like it is. Now we're almost at the top. Almost at the top. Now please, if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, please do. I would really appreciate it. You can almost see the view. I can see the view because I know what's beyond those trees. Look at that, another big wombat hole. Look at the size of it. It's probably almost 2 meters deep. All right, so that gate's closed. That gate's closed. I haven't got my keys. Let me just. Look at that big tree. Isn't it a great tree? All right, now bear with me. I am going to duck through the fence, get my camera through the fence, try not to get my amazing jumper hooked up on the barbed wire. You're going to absolutely love this view. I mean, absolutely love it. All right, you still with me, Kirsty and Frenchie, and everyone who's never seen this amazing view before. Step over these. Ugh. We're almost there. Almost there. Prepare yourselves for the best view you've ever seen. Well, now I say that. It may not in fact be the best view you've ever seen, but up here I think it's a pretty awesome view. Amazing walk around. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Well, this is the type of thing I'd normally do on my Tuesday lives, but it was raining on Tuesday. And this old phone of mine that I'm using, it's the only phone I've got. And I picked it up secondhand in about October, November, and it's got a cracked screen. It's got a very cracked screen, but it does the job. It means I can do lives and I can do videos. I just have to make sure it doesn't get wet, because if I kill it, I can't get another one. I just can't really afford it. All right, let's go. Where's the best angle? Where's the best angle, folks? Just walking through the bush. That's where I want to take you. Just beyond this tree here. Not seeing any snakes, but you've still got to be careful. All right. Okay. There we go. Look at that. I don't know how well you can see over there. There's like, oh, 1, 2, 3. I could see like 6 lots of mountains going back. Isn't it though? It really is absolutely amazing. I would pan in, but I'd be too worried that I'd actually disconnect the live. Breathtakingly beautiful. Yeah, it is. In winter, when you come up here, a lot of these mountains going back have are all snow capped. I can see 4 mics in mics. Yeah, it's a nice day. Miles. Yes, miles. Yeah, you can. I do have a quad bike, but like with all things that are here at the moment, Kirsty, it's broken. Hey, Eileen. Hello, my love. Welcome in. We've just come up to have a look at the view from the top paddock. Stunning view. Well, I suppose so. We should walk back. See how the cows are getting on. But I'm so glad you were there to join me. Hey. You know, it's nice to be able to do these things and have your friends along with you. Because I don't always have people to walk along with me, of course. So, yeah, it's nice. Nice to have some company. Oh, who wants to look at me? I'll change it back. There we go. Back to the view. So what did you think? Did you all love it? I mean, honestly, I'm so blessed to live in this area. In summer, even in summer, like, it doesn't get as hot up here as it does in the rest of the country, but when there's bushfires, I mean, you can see it's plenty dry still, and there's lots of listen to the birds, lots of kindling, so it is a little bit worrisome in summer if there's bushfires about, even when there's not bushfires about, you know, because you worry that there's going to be. Hey Raj, how are you? Good evening. Like number 22, thank you. 22 is good. If everyone could smash that like button for me, although I'm sure you all have, and I do appreciate it. Yeah, beauty and friendships, that's exactly right, Ace. There is. Especially living remotely too. And I mean, that's not just remotely here in a property, although obviously that's a lot to do with it as well. But when I lived in the city, and I was like right in the city centre, I didn't really know my neighbours. My neighbours didn't really know me. I think living out here, even though I don't see people in the flesh day after day after day, in many ways, I'm more connected here than I was in the city. People in the country, they make an effort to visit, to keep in touch. And I have my YouTube family, and you're all here keeping me company. And I mean, what a miracle is that? I mean, really. The miracle of modern technology. I mean, there's aspects of modern technology that I don't necessarily like. And I'm sure you're all the same. Modern technology is great to a point. All right. Now, let me get through here. Hang on, folks, I'll be with you in a minute. Get that through. Get that through. Make sure I don't get my jumper caught up on the fence. And we're back. Tweet. You can see some mountains down there as well. Yeah, they do, Joshua. They have a different story each year. I remember that. So let's wander back down, see how the cows are getting on. Avoid that amazingly huge wombat hole. Oh. There we go. You can see me for a bit. How long have we been on? Wow, okay. So we're walking. Still got my winter woolies on. I tell you, it was so cold this morning. And I mean, honestly, if I wasn't walking up a hill, another wombat hole. Oh no, you can't see it. There you go, another wombat hole. If I hadn't just walked up a big hill, I'd probably be feeling cool still. It is, isn't it? Yes. I love it. I love jumpers, real jumpers, knitted out of wool. My mother, Kirsty, was a fantastic knitter. My mother, in fact, was great at everything. Honestly, I wish I had half her talent. She could knit. She did pottery. She painted. And I mean, she entered some of her paintings in big competitions, and she would get a place fairly regularly. So, you know, a fantastic painter. I remember once she had a knack for craft. I remember once I went to the library with her. Moo. I'll let you see the cows. They're there. They've come up for a look. I went to the library with her, and while we were there, she borrowed a book on lace making. And I went to bed at about, because I was young, I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8. And my mum used to go to bed generally around 10:30. And when I went to bed, she was busy reading this book that she'd borrowed on lace making. And when I got up in the morning, because, you know, when you're a little kid, you tend to get up super early. And my mother was still in bed, but on the dining table was the book. And next to it was this big piece of lace that she'd made. Absolutely incredible. My mum just had a knack. She had a knack. She could pick up a book on something like that she'd never done before and do it quite well. By trade, my mother was a pastry chef, but both my parents, they passed away when I was quite young. My father, he had emphysema from smoking. And after the funeral, we went back to the house for the wake, and my mother's doctor turned up at the wake and told her that she had cancer, and she lived about another 10 months. So, and I was still a kid, I was still at school. And at that point, I was sort of an only child. You heard me talking earlier about the blue spruce that I planted in honour of my brother who passed away last year. And I didn't find out till after my father had died that he had been previously married and he'd had children from that marriage. And the first I knew of it was when they turned up at my dad's funeral. And I didn't really keep in touch with them. They were much, much, much older than me, like much older than me. I was like 10-ish, and they were like 30s and 40s, probably 40s actually. Nicholas, hello. Oh, Nicholas, you just missed the best view from up the top. We're in the top paddock where you haven't been before, Nicholas. So you'll have to go and have a bit of a squiz. But welcome in, Nicholas. I do hope you're well. So yeah, but the youngest, it turns out my dad had like 6 children from his previous marriage. And yeah, they were much older than me. But the youngest one was Richard. And I got quite close with him. Like he was such a lovely man, you know. And his wife was lovely, and he had 2 biological children and 2 more stepchildren. And the whole family were just beautiful. And they all embraced me, which I'm so grateful to and grateful for, because really the bulk of my relatives are all in England and Scotland. So when both my parents passed, I was sort of left pretty much on my own. I did go into foster care for a little while because I was younger than 18, and that didn't work out all that well. Look, foster care does for some people, but not for everyone. It didn't really work for me. But, you know, my half-brother Rick, such a lovely man. Such a lovely man. So he wasn't a part of my life as a child, but he was a part of my life as an adult. And I didn't get to see him every week or every month. And sometimes, you know, even a year or 2 might pass because, you know, geographically it was sort of a bit of a distance from each other. But we spoke on the phone quite regularly. And I just miss knowing that he's around, you know. I can't just pick up the phone and talk to him anymore. And I really don't have all that many relatives over here. The other siblings, Rick's siblings from my dad's first marriage, they've all passed now. So I'm the last one of the bloodline. Well, no, I'm not. I've got my daughter. She's the last one of the bloodline. But yeah. So there you go. You got to hear a bit of a story there. I don't even know how we got into that. How did we get into that? I want you to see that big tree. Look at that big peppermint. Yeah, no, thank you, Nicholas. But it happens, I suppose. Thank you, Arlene. Oh, your aunt died. Yeah, you were telling me about that the other week. Was that last year, the end of last year, Nicholas? I'm so sorry. She was in Queensland, yeah? If I remember rightly. Brooke Trout. Welcome in, my dear. Just catching up on the chat. Yes, we were talking about how talented my mum was. Yeah. Yeah, see, one thing leads to another. That's the great thing about conversations. it's like I go into a live, and I'm sure many of you have done it, those of you who have lives, and even just the way that conversation just naturally flows. But you know, you go into a live and you have this idea in your head, this expectation of what it is you're going to talk about. And then someone saying a simple comment about a jumper, and I've just gone and spilled the beans about my entire family history. So there you go. Enjoy. Don't know how many times I'll mention that again. It's out there now, so no need to mention it again. There's the hay shed. Leah Williams. Certainly have had a difficult life, but so glad that God was with you and that you are happy with your life now. Yeah, and that's exactly right, Leah. I mean, really, without God to get me through. I mean, it's not just down to God. You know, there's been a lot of people that have helped me along the way and supported me. And I'm sure some of those were sent my way because of God as well. That is my friend Leah. Leah is not a content creator, just so you know. Leah is one of those lovely people who stepped in and guided me and befriended me and guided me for many, many decades now when sort of my parents passed away. And I met Leah sort of probably 10 or so years after that, but I really needed a Leah in my life, and she's still in my life. And that's the great thing about friendships, isn't it? Good friendships are always there for you. Just catching up. No, Joy, Leah is not a content creator. Leah used to be my next door neighbour many decades ago, when I was probably in my 20s. Would I have been in my 20s, Leah? I think I was. Yeah, no, I was. Because I remember I had my 30th birthday in the house I live in next door to you. Look at that amazing view, folks. And this is the view I basically get from the house. But it's a fantastic view. I mean, what a blessing it is to live in a place like this. I mean, what can you hear? It's just birds. That's all you can hear is birds. There's no cars, there's no motorbikes, there's no trucks. There's no people in my life because everyone's dropped out, apparently. No, we got 2 people. Well, that's something. 2 people is something. Don't you think? So, see, a few months ago when I said to you that when the weather got cooler, I'd start taking you on some different walks. Kirsty, thank you. Ace, thank you. And we've got so many other walks around the property we can go on, folks. I reckon every month at least I could take on a brand new place on the property that you've never seen before. It'd probably take us about a year to get through them all. I'm glad you're here, Ace. Thank you. Look at those big trees. Gee, they're tall. Crappy firewood, but beautiful to look at. This is the golden ash. It's looking a bit green at the moment. And again, you could see the cows been eating the ends of them, and the deer. You come out here at night time and the paddock's full of deer and full of wombats. You know what I'd love? I would love to be able to come out at night and show you the property at night, but I don't know how I'd do that. Like, I don't think that's really something that I don't really think that's something that I could do with my phone. I've got to get all this wood split. It's drying. It's actually cracking all on its own. But over the next few weeks, I'm going to be, if I can, we're going to split all of this. See, I've got red gum there. Back there, I've got mixed species. I'm going to fill this side up to there. We've got this big hydraulic wood splitter, which is under the tarp there. Need to fill all this side as well. So probably starting next week, as well as doing a few fence repairs, it's going to be time to start splitting the wood. I have a question. Yes, that would be a good start. Jay! Hello, Jay. We have just been for the most lovely walk. We've been walking for an hour and 38 minutes. Well, I'm glad you're still here, Nicholas. I've missed having you in my lives. Where have you been? Well, I know you said your aunt died. Was that a different aunt? Because I thought your aunt died before Christmas. So yes, that's Rick's blue spruce. That I planted in his honour. Let's go and sit at our table. Are you going, Joy? Thank you so much for coming in, my love. It's always so wonderful to have you here, and I really appreciate that you stayed with me and got to see the view up at the top paddock. Let me get... And Joy, I want you to take care, look after yourself, and have a wonderful weekend, Joy. Oh, now let me turn this round. Okay, there we go. Woo! Woo! Well, I tell you, That's not what I was expecting to do when I left the house this morning. Yeah, so Nicholas, you're going to have to watch the earlier part of the live, because I know you have asked me on many occasions to walk up to the very top paddock past the top hay shed and show you the views. And I finally did it. That was earlier this morning. That was earlier on the live. So if you sort of scroll back once this is finished and have a look, you'll get to see the view from the top. So tell me about your weekends, everyone. What have you got planned? It's a Friday night for many of you. It's Saturday morning for Nicholas and a few people who are in Australia. What are your plans for the weekend? Tell me all. What are you going to do, Joshua, for the weekend? Jay Sparky says, I wish I would have been here for the walk. You were doing the dishes. Oh, well, dishes are very important though, Jay. You've got to get them done. I've got a few inside waiting for me too. A necessary evil is doing dishes. Although in winter, I don't mind doing dishes so much because the water's warm. Jay says, I'm going to drive 300 miles round trip to visit my brother. Wow, that's a long round trip. Where do you have to drive to? Oh, the other aunt. Okay, Nicholas. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Having experienced loss in my life as well, and I mean, we all have. We've all experienced loss. It's never easy. It's never easy. It doesn't matter whether it's expected or not expected. It's not nice. So my thoughts are very much with you. I'm sure the thoughts of many of those in the chat are also with you. Jay Sparky says, in the US, from Massachusetts to New Hampshire. Joshua's asking Kirsty if there's fireworks. There used to be fireworks. At least when I was little, I think there were. I seem to have a memory of that. But Joshua, tell me what you're doing for the weekend. I would love to know what you're up to. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the weekend. I do have the washing machine on, so I've got washing I need to hang out shortly. I need to do some video editing. Yes, there is, says Kirsty. So there is fireworks. Yeah, I thought there was. Yeah, so I need to hang out washing. I need to do some video editing. I've just been so busy. I've been so busy. No, you're right, Nicholas. It's all good. Susan, I was just going to ask you. I read your mind. It's funny you should say that, actually. But yeah, so I'm going to do some video editing. Tomorrow I'll probably do a little bit of writing. And if it's dry, I might do some mowing. Yeah, I'm sorry, Nicholas. That's no good. Oh, you need to empty it. Well, actually, Kirsty, I'm going to be building a lot of raised beds. How tall are your raised beds, Kirsty? Or are they sort of all varying in height? I want to do raised beds that are at least 1 meter in height. apart from the bed that's going to have the wheat in. So there's going to be some at ground level. There's going to be a bed which is going to be growing wheat, because I try and make my own bread, and I want to have a go, even if it's only once in my life. I'd like to have a go at making my own flour from wheat that I've actually grown in the garden. I want to try this. I need to try this. So there's going to be one garden bed at ground level for the wheat. I do have quite a large area at the moment for rhubarb. I've got about 7 rhubarb plants and quite a lot of asparagus. And so I'm thinking that I'll probably put those at ground level as well. So I'll have a bed for wheat, a bed for asparagus and rhubarb. So opposite ends of the same garden bed. And then apart from those, I think everything else is going to be in raised beds. Kirsty says, mine vary, but at least 3 or 4 pallet slats high. So they are deep enough for most things. Okay. Do you have rhubarb or asparagus in your raised beds? Sorry. Itchy after the walk. Oh. Yeah, you've cancelled everything. Well, that's fair enough too, Nicholas. You've got enough on your plate. You can only deal with so many things at a time, and something like this is really important for you to not only to handle, but for your own mental health as well. You know, you need to be able to do what you have to do and then step back and take some me time, which is what I did on Thursday when I didn't do my live. I was having some me time. Hey, Dora. Hello. Oh, Dora, we went on the most amazing walk. You've just missed the most amazing walk. Dora is saying hello to everyone in the chat. Dora is still in Bali on her holiday with Paul D, Australia. Yeah, Dora, we you know, when we go sometimes on the live and we go up to the top paddock and we go and have a look at the hay shed, we kept walking up the paddock. We went to the very, very top, and I showed everyone the mountain view, the mountain ranges from the top of the paddock there. And yeah, just it's a different mountain range to look at. But how are you, Dora? Are you having fun over there? It was lovely. It really was. Let me take you out the front. We'll have a look at this view out the front. What does it say? Oh, Kirsty's saying, I have rhubarb and asparagus in old water tanks. They are a deep and rectangular, but are small enough to move around if needed. Now that's an idea, because I've got, you know what I've got? Because I've got a farm, people keep offloading every time they renovate their homes. People offload to me their old bathtubs. Look, there's a bathtub there. Yeah, people offload to me their old bathtubs, which you can see get used for troughs. That one's supposed to be up on the star pickets, but I've got very slack. I haven't picked it up. Look, there's sheep. Can you see the sheep? Yeah, people offload to me their old bathtubs, Kirsty. So maybe I could, and they're sort of scattered all around the property. Like I've got bathtubs everywhere. So maybe what I could do is move some of the old bathtubs and put them in the new veggie garden. How do you reckon that would work, Kirsty? I remember one year, Kirsty, and it was a long time ago, I actually used one of the bathtubs to grow watercress in, because I love watercress. Nicholas is saying rhubarb. I'm not entirely sure why he's saying rhubarb. Let me go back and see what I missed. Yes, the painting. It's got nothing to do with yes. The painting was lovely. How do I move the bathtub? With help. This bathtub here, I mean, some of them are quite heavy. Like this one here fell off its star pickets a few weeks ago, and the cows aren't in here anymore, so I haven't bothered picking it up, but I can't pick that thing up on my own. And because I had a bad elbow for a while, and Kevin really can't pick up anything heavy at the moment, so I've just left it there. It is a gorgeous view. It is a gorgeous view. But yeah, and if between two people, two able-bodied people, that is, it's not that difficult to pick up and move a bathtub. And like Kevin generally comes up on a Friday, he's got the utility. And so if I need to move at any great distance, we can pick up the bath, put it on the back of his utility, and then we just drive it to another part of the property as required. But let's not look at an ugly bath. Let's look at that incredible view. And look at those clouds. Oh, I got to tell you too, last night we had the most amazing sunset that I have seen in, a good 6 months. I tried to take some pictures. I do think I'd missed the best of it by the time I saw it. But I've got some fantastic photos, so I'm going to be using those. I'm going to be posting them on the High Country Homestead Facebook page, and or using them in a thumbnail for another live at some point. It does look amazing, doesn't it? They are heavy. Yeah, you're right. They're super heavy. Kirsty says, I have at least 8 bathtubs as raised beds as well. Yeah, I think, as I'm thinking what I've got on the property, I think around the property I've probably got about 5 bathtubs scattered about the place. So if I get them all together, I could probably use some of those as well. It is. And this is the view from the front of the house, Jay. So this is what I'm looking out at. I can hear a few motorbikes. It's Saturday morning here, and on a Saturday morning, people from Melbourne like to come and ride their bikes up here. So on a Saturday morning, you can hear a little bit of traffic, but it's usually just like a few motorbikes going past, and then it all goes nice and quiet again. But look at that view. It's always changing. It's always different. The clouds are always different. Raised beds are good for rhubarb. Okay. I thought they might, because I mean they've got quite deep roots, so I wasn't sure how they'd go. I thought that I'd need to put them in the ground, like properly in the ground. But you say I can grow rhubarb in raised beds quite well? No, it's quite a different look, isn't it? I'm very lucky. You hear the birds squawking, the cockatoos. Jay says my brother lives in the mountains. It is. So yes, next week, well, yeah, later today when I get off this live, I'm hanging washing, maybe doing some editing. Tomorrow I'm writing some stories for the paper. And then next week, all being well, we're going to be splitting a lot of wood. A lot of wood. Try and get that big wood splitter out of the woodshed and start splitting all that wood that's outside and get it stacked into the shed. So that's with any luck next week. Next week also, I believe that the fencer is coming toward the end of next week, and he's going to be putting the fence up for the new veggie garden that's going to be going in. And that's going to be very exciting, Kirsty, because I've been waiting for this new veggie garden for such a long time. Like such a long time. So with any luck, that's happening next week as well. And once the wood is all split and under cover, I'm really going to make a start on the new veggie garden. So there's going to be new raised beds going in and some plantings happening. Things are, some things are starting to go dormant now. I don't think I'd be moving my rhubarb or asparagus yet, but no, we'll be getting the layout. The garden beds are going to go direct into the ground. My neighbour has a, what do you call them? A rotary hoe. My neighbour has a rotary hoe, so we're going to use that to dig a few big garden plots where I can, in the spring, get wheat going, and where I can put the rhubarb and put the asparagus. I can move some of the bathtubs in, and we're going to start getting some raised beds in there. So it's all going to start happening in the next sort of 2 to 3 weeks. The only thing that clearly isn't happening is the solar system, which was supposed to go up on Tuesday of this week. But it happens. It happens. Who have we got? Someone new. Ryan Tran. Hello, my love. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yes, I am blessed. Yeah, I do. Look, it's not without its problems. Living up here has its problems, but everyone has problems. It's just, I suppose we've got to find a way to face our problems and work through them. And most of us manage to do that with varying degrees of success. I have my days where I get overwhelmed. I'm sure everyone does. Everyone does. But we've just got to, everything has a silver lining. Absolutely everything has a silver lining. It's just that sometimes it takes you a long time to see that silver lining. And it's not to say that situations are, especially when you're talking about the loss of a person, you know, there's no way that I could possibly say that my parents dying when I was so young was a good thing. It's not a good thing, but I have learned so much on my journey to date that I probably wouldn't have learned if that situation hadn't have happened. So it's not good what happened, but there was still some good that came of it. There's always a silver lining somewhere. And honestly, I reckon it took me about 15, 20 years for me to recognize that the journey that I've been on was due in part to the passing of my parents when I was so young. There is a silver lining to everything. I hope so. I do hope so. Yeah. I'd like to think they would be, even if I am crap at painting and I can't knit. Oh, I remember my mother trying to teach me how to knit. And I mean, I was little and like I'd be trying to knit, and every stitch that I did would get tighter and tighter and tighter. And in the end, they were so tight, I couldn't move the knitting needles apart. And I'd go to bed that night and my mum would undo it all and redo it and make it all nice. And I'd get up in the morning and think, gee, it doesn't look that bad. I'll have another go. And then I'd have another go and it'd get tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And in the end, I just said, no, look, it's not me. Can't do it, Mum. But look, from my mum, I got my love of plants because my mother loved plants. She loved gardening. She would love this property. She really would have done. I do, yeah, for sure. I love writing, and my mother was a very, oh, what's the word I'm after? Prolific letter writer. She loved writing letters. And even though she was here in Australia, she would write to all her relatives, all my family and her family in England and Scotland. And she would be telling, like, my uncle, who lived in Leeds, what his brother, that lived 3 blocks down the road from him, was doing. So they didn't keep in touch with each other, the 2 brothers, but they were like 10 minutes apart. They didn't see each other for over 15 years. But my mother in Australia would write to them both, and she'd tell him what this brother was doing, and tell that brother what the other one was doing. A prolific letter writer. And I've sort of, when she passed, I sort of took up that mantle, and I would write to them all. And it was partly because I just needed that sense of connection, but also I felt I owed it to her and I owed it to them. And as time has gone on, you know, many of them have passed on as well, but I've kept in touch with their children, who of course are my cousins. So I've still got a lot of family that I'm very close to in the UK. But my mother was a prolific letter writer, and from her, I think that's where I got my love of writing from. And that's why I now write articles, which I post onto Buy Me a Coffee. And that's the Buy Me a Coffee articles are the links that I put in my community YouTube page. So I upload an article on the 1st and the 15th of every month. And when I upload it to Buy Me a Coffee, I put the link on my community page. But that's where I got my love of writing from, was from my mother. And my mother was also a pastry chef. So my love of baking I got from my mum. And I haven't sort of decorated, like really decorated a cake for a long time now. But I have made, over my life, I have made some friends a couple of wedding cakes. Like I've made a few wedding cakes. So, you know, I'm skilled enough that I can do that. And when my daughter was younger, you know, like kids' birthday cakes, you know, you've got to make them big and bright and elaborate and fancy shapes and bright colors and all that sort of thing. And it was a really good excuse for me to make something. And I used to love doing cupcakes and the decorations of my cupcakes. In fact, you know, now that my daughter's a bit older, I don't tend to make those really big fancy cakes anymore, but maybe I should. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll do it for my birthday. I'll make myself a really big fancy cake. I can do that. And then I'll do a live and I'll sit there and I'll eat it all in front of you. What do you reckon? But no, I got a lot of stuff from my mum. I didn't get so much from my dad that I'm aware of, but certainly I've got a lot of things from my dad's family, like his ancestors, like I've been doing the ancestry.com, and my mum used to do family tree stuff before me. She was very big into researching the family tree. And it's amazing going back through the family tree, how many people make them on Saturdays. What, cakes? Have you any idea, Dora, how big I'd get if I made a cake every bloody Saturday? I might make it on the occasional Saturday. I will. I mean, we've made chili jam. We're going to make cakes, believe me. But yeah. And that's the other reason I don't make as many cakes these days, because, you know, if you make a big 2 or 3 tier cake, you say, yay, it's my birthday, and then you've got to eat it all. And that's not a bad thing. I like the taste of my cakes for the first 2, 3, 4 days. Once a month cupcakes. Okay. Oh, you've given me an idea, Dora. You've given me an idea. I will make my Easter cupcakes. Make it for neighbours. None of them eat sugar. I would make it for neighbours. Kevin, who comes up here on a Friday to help me out, not big on sugar. My other neighbour, my neighbours on either side, they don't eat sugar. Everyone's watching their weight. No one wants to eat a cake. It's sad, really, isn't it? Imagine a world where no one likes cake. It's like not liking chocolate. It's wrong. It's sacrilege. It really is. But I'll make some cupcakes. And in fact, you've given me the most amazing idea, Dora. You have. Anyway, my friends and for the chickens, oh, you're on your 3-seater leather couch. I'm not making a cake for the chickens. I used to make a cake for the dog on occasion when I had a dog. Not out of sugar and stuff, clearly. You know, with doggy ingredients. Always did a doggy birthday cake for Gaia. And no doubt when I get another dog, I'll be making more doggy birthday cakes. Yes, Jay, we're about to wrap it up, but thank you very much for being here. I hope you have a lovely evening. I hope you have a lovely weekend. I could make a chicken cake. Oh, as in a chicken-shaped cake? Look, leave that with me, Dora. I'll think about it. That's for your party for your birthday. You'll be flying in. Well, my friends, I'm going to wrap things up. I would like to thank you all so very much for being here. I do very much appreciate that you came with me on that tremendously long walk this morning to have a look at the other view. And I really enjoyed having someone with me while I went, because quite often I do that walk on my own. Sometimes my daughter will come with me, but not often, not as often as I tend to walk it in the cooler months. I might walk that like 2 or 3 times a week, whereas my daughter might come with me once a fortnight. So I really appreciated that you all came with me, and I'm so glad that you finally got to see it, because I've been telling you all about this incredible view for such a long time. So I'm glad you got to see it. Dora, thank you. I love you too. Please stay safe over there in Bali. Give my best to Paul as well, and continue to have a wonderful time. I'm really enjoying the photos and the updates. I want everyone to have a wonderful Saturday if you're in Australia, or a wonderful Friday night if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. Sleep well, stay safe. I appreciate each and every one of you. I love you all, and thank you. Thank you so much for being here, and everyone take care. And I'll see you all on the next live, which will be on Tuesday next week. So I'll see you all then. Thank you all, and give it a thumbs up if you haven't done it yet. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Bye. Bye. See you all again soon.